Welcome to Wellness Made Easy. In this special revisited episode from March 2023, Larry Logsdon joins Dr. Bob Martin, host of the largest weekend syndicated health talk show in America. Today, they take on a surprising challenge. Why are so many young Americans unfit for military service? And what does it reveal about our national health crisis? Could the root of it all come down to diet, dopamine, and daily habits? This one's packed with eye-openers and solutions you can use right now.
And with that, let us welcome Larry back to the show. And good day to you, Larry. I'm glad that you didn't get caught up in the time change. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying, "What? I missed that first hour of the Dr. Bob show. What am I going to do?" Well, folks, don't panic. You'll be able to find the show in the podcast library, any hour of it, if you ever miss it, over at drbob.com. Good morning to you, Larry.
Hey, good morning, Dr. Bob. How are you?
I'm doing well. You sound chipper this morning, and that's a good thing. You heard the intro,
Dr. Bob.
You heard the intro, Larry. Big problem in the military right now. They're finding that they just can't find people who are able to do what they need to do in the military to be part of our brave fighting men and women, our warriors. And not only that, the existing military members, they've got challenges on their hands as well. What do you think of all this, sir?
Well, Dr. Bob, it's an alarming thing we should pay a lot of attention to. A big report just came out last week. Nearly 80% of Americans aged 17 through 24 are just not fit to serve in the military. These people are overweight. They have lots of other physical problems and don't even qualify. But what's really alarming is that this number is up 6% from 2017. It's an amazing thing. So largely, our military is they have to keep lowering the bar to get people in, and that is not going to work out very well.
Oh my gosh,
that's what the real problem is.
17 to 24-year-olds are that's when they're in their absolute prime. That's when athletes are elite. That's when people should be able to jump over high, tall buildings with a single bound. And you're telling me that in this age group, they're not able to meet the minimum standards to get into the military or maintain their military readiness? What?
They don't qualify to pass the physical exam.
Oh, geez.
They just physically are not able to, run a mile, or their weight is out of whack. There's several things that they measure, but they say there's such a huge number that just don't even qualify. They want to get in, but they just can't make it. They don't have the basics to make it happen. And these people are so dependent on certain kinds of foods that make them have a very short hit of feeling good. And the military says, you can't do that here.
Mm-hmm. Well, in days past, it used to be the only thing that really could knock somebody out of their ability to be in the military would be like flat feet or scoliosis or some disability that would not allow them to be able to do what they had to do on a physical getting into the military. Now, you're telling me it's a whole new ball game, and it's...
Well, yeah. It's amazing. What's amazing about all this is that it isn't just 17 to 24-year-olds. It goes from 17 to 55-year-olds who are really affected by all this, but it's reflecting in this latest report about the military. And what's going on is so many people have been fooled into thinking that foods should be a pleasure. And that's not the way it works. Foods are supposed to be part of a wellness plan to keep you well. And you can't eat foods out of a box or they're prepared for you somewhere else. They're going to work out very well, because in order to make things taste good and to make them last any length of time, they have to be treated with all kinds of chemicals. And those chemicals make you feel good for a moment and then drop off quickly, and you want more.
It sounds like the old adage, garbage in, garbage out, Larry. Am I too far off base there?
No, you're right on, Dr. Bob. What's really interesting about this is why it is that doctors keep hearing it's their number one health question that the doctors hear However, they don't answer this question. Hey, doc, why don't I feel good? Well, it's your crappy diet. He'll never tell you that. He'll do all these tests for you and come away saying, oh, yeah, you just need to drink more water. You're fine. Well, you're not fine. You know you're not fine. You know you don't feel right. Things are just upset inside. And the doctor lets you run down the road until sometime when you wind up with a disease. Then he's there to give you some pills for that. And the reality is all these foods that have been manufactured by man are dopamine-oriented foods. They're designed to give you quick pleasure. I mean, when's the last time you heard double your pleasure, double your fun?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
And every McDonald's Happy Meal is about pleasure and pleasing the young one. Think of all this. Well, according to Dr. Robert Lustig, who wrote a book, Hacking of the American Mind, this has been ongoing since 1970.
Well, I want to pick that up on the other side of this break, Larry, and talk further about it. It reminds me of the old Wonder Bread commercial. Building a body strong 12 ways. 12 ways to what? 12 ways to jump. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll come back in just a little bit. We're talking about the dilemma in the U.S. military, struggling to find people who are able to pass the minimum standard test. They're actually having to, according to our special guest, Larry Logsdon from Tahiti Trader Noni, they're having to lower the standards in order to fill in the gaps where we need more people in our military and our armed services, men and women bravely going into the services, and they can't make it in because of all kinds of health-related concerns and problems that they're challenged by. And we're talking about that dilemma. We'll get back to that in a little bit. I also want to let you know, coming up on the program today, we're going to be discussing the fact that leading scientists are wanting to ban bacon. There's a colorant in bacon. A color that, when you roll up to the meat counter in the grocery store and you look down at that bacon, it looks just so good. It looks nice and red and just fresh as it can be. Well, that's not how bacon looks, folks. I assure you of that. If you've ever seen bacon in its truest color, it's not that bright red color like it just got slaughtered and there it comes into the shelf. No. Color is an important factor in evaluating the quality of meat products, and adding food color fixatives to meat products make them more appealing to the eye so that you don't see that meat as that gray, nasty-looking stuff that you're not going to purchase and put in your body. However, scientists believe that adding these coloring fixatives to your bacon that you may be having in the morning sold in grocery stores may seriously threaten human health. The chemical additives in most cured meats, that's what we're talking about, cured meats with these coloring additives in them. We're talking about ham, we're talking about bacon, we're talking about sausages, should be banned according to health experts, stating that it increases the risk of type 2 diabetes and even bowel cancer, according to scientists. We'll get into that a little bit later in the show, so hang around. All right, back to our special guest, Larry Logsdon, CEO and founder of Tahiti Trader. You can learn about what they're doing, some of the great things they're doing over at TahitiTrader.com. All right, now, Larry, let's get into this a little bit further. We need to help those people who are listening right now, because there may be somebody who's interested in going into the armed services, or has a family member or somebody that is interested. I want to help get them on track so they can feel better, function better, and perform better, so they can get by these minimum standards and excel in the way that they function if they so choose to be in the military. So let's start on helping them out at that point.
Well, Dr. Bob, the solution to this is very, very simple. Eat fresh foods. It solves your problem, because all the foods that are made by man or touched by man has to be processed. Has to be. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing boils down to making it last long enough so that it can go from the factory to your plate. And that requires preservatives. You have to have them. There's no other way to do it. And in order to make a dead food work well, they have to use some sort of chemicals to make it taste good, make it look good, so that you'll want that food. And they've programmed us to buy those kinds of things and told us how good they are. They're not good. They're terrible. And those foods are going to create lots of problems down the road, cancer being the number one item. And the real solution here, folks, is begin eating a fresh food diet. Make your foods at home. Oftentimes I'll say to people, how long does it take to make a hamburger at home? And they'll say, oh, I think about 15 minutes. No, it's the same 3 minutes at home as it is at the hamburger stand. Your burger is going to be fresh. I don't know about the one at the hamburger stand. And these are the problems that people have been lured into through the whole guise of you're going to love our food. It's going to give you pleasure. In the end, I don't think that's pleasurable.
Well, it's harsh, especially when you go to your doctor and you're feeling bad, and all your doctor says is drink more water and take these pills and call me in the morning, and the pills don't have anything to do with how they got sick or how they're going to get well. It's just covering up the symptom, almost like putting frosting on burnt cake.
Oh, that's exactly right. And what's really interesting is that the real issue going on here is these foods and this lifestyle creates an imbalance in our system. It's homeostasis. It's out of balance. It's very high in dopamine-oriented foods and dopamine-oriented habits people have gotten accustomed to. The problem with that is that your body wants to find balance. It cannot do it that way. It keeps reaching for the same thing again and again, and you get a short hit, and then it drops off, and a short hit that drops off. Well, pretty soon you've got a pretty wide waistline from doing this.
It sounds like caffeine and nicotine.
It's similar. Oh, it's all the same stuff. It just found in different places and different things. In fact, I was at the health show the other day, and they're handing out new energy bars that have as much caffeine as a cup of coffee. Just think about that.
I saw that. It was such a health outrage.
Oh, my God. And they're telling me it was healthy. And I couldn't wait to show it to you when I saw you. I said, this is unbelievable. But what's really happening here, folks, is that we can get ourselves back on balance, back in homeostasis, and we can do it very quickly by using something that will bring in serotonin, which creates the happiness chemical in our body, serotonin. That's what you want, and that can be done with noni juice. It's really simple. Just 1 ounce a day, and you'll notice a difference when you use it. I just had my glass of juice right here now.
Yeah, some people are not familiar. We got a lot of new listeners listening to you. They may not be familiar with noni, N-O-N-I, noni juice. Larry, what is it?
Well, Dr. Bob, noni juice is this incredible 5,000-year-old fruit that comes from the South Pacific Islands, where it grows wild. And this stuff is really a medicine. That's all the islanders ever had. That's how they settled the entire South Pacific, by utilizing one fruit to keep them well.
All right, Larry, I'm going to have to stop you there. We're getting ready to go on a break. I want to pick that up on the other side, and I'm going to have you come back around and describe it, what noni is, how it works, and how it can fill in the gaps for people who are on these horrendously bad diets that are taking them to nowhereville health-wise. Our special guest is Larry Logsdon, the CEO of Tahiti Trader Noni Juice. You can find out more about what they do at TahitiTrader.com. Larry's also the author of Build an Amazing Immune System, 10 Easy Steps, a simple and easy course to follow if you want to build your immune system back up or to keep it strong. And that reminds me, Larry, I want to make sure before the end of the show we help those people who are interested in building back a healthy immune system or building a healthy immune system, giving them the opportunity to get a hold of or find out more about this course that you've put together, excellently so, I might add.
Well, thank you, Dr. Bob. You know, folks, we have a very effective course. It comprises basically 10 steps, very simple steps, but very precisely laid out, where it allows you to build an amazing immune system. And it's a course we're offering for Dr. Bob listeners, and it's available at our website, TahitiTrader.com. And here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn what foods you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. That's a big deal. What's going to boost your immune system, what's not. What supplements you should use. As an example, you can 3 times your immune system, 3x it, by just adding noni juice to that. Mm-hmm. If you add vitamin D, you'll 10x that. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing thing if you know what you're doing. Adding zinc is a big deal. I mean, Dr. Bob, these things are very, very well known by people like you and I, but most people aren't being told. Mm-hmm. These are things you can take, and it's very simple. Go to our website.
So, Larry, the course itself, Build an Amazing Immune System, 10 Easy Steps. How do people pay the $500 or $1,000 for that? Is it credit card or cash or check? What is it?
Dr. Bob, it's free for Dr. Bob listeners. All you have to do is go to our website, and there will be a little box that pops up with a Dr. Bob special, and you can then just go ahead and click the thing and put in your name so you can get the course started. It's real simple.
Such a deal. TahitiTrader.com, TahitiTrader.com. Just in case you need it, their phone number also is 800-842-5309. 800-842-5309 or TahitiTrader.com. You're looking for Build an Amazing Immune System, 10 Easy Steps course, and it's free $99 to you as a listener perk of this show. Now, Larry, let's get back to the noni juice. What is noni? So many people, they know what apple juice is, they know what OJ is, they know what grape juice is. Noni, can you sum it up for us?
Well, yes, Dr. Bob, I can sum it up this way. It's the amazing adaptogen. It allows your body to adapt to whatever it has to deal with and bring it back into balance.
How does that work?
If your immune system's running low, it'll bring it up.
How does that work?
If it's running high, it'll bring it down.
How does it work?
Well, it works very simply. It's got this amazing ability to release serotonin, which is your master hormone. It's what controls all functions in your body. And that's what's being suppressed by a dopamine diet. When you start having noni in your diet, you're going to feel better right now, and everything starts to come into focus. Everything starts working correctly, and that's a big deal, especially as you get older. You don't need to get sick, trust me. How about those who have got high blood pressure? You'll find that your blood pressure will come down a few points too, because noni helps you manage all functions in your body, and this is a big deal.
Is noni prescription free?
It is a prescription free. It's a juice that's made by this fruit called noni, and we ferment that into what you might call like a fruit vinegar, Dr. Bob. And that fruit vinegar tastes, well, pretty nasty. However, it works very, very well.
You're killing me.
And we have another version that, well, we do. I have to be honest with you. There are people who will say, "What does that stuff taste like?" Well, the real McCoy is pretty tough.
Yeah, but Larry, I got to stop you right there. I have to stop you here because I've tasted some pretty nasty things in my life, nutritionally speaking. Echinacea, apple cider vinegar, kombucha, some of the bitter herbs and stuff. Nothing. I mean, some of these things will knock you down. That island-style noni is not that bad compared to those that I just mentioned.
You're right. It's not near as bad as some of those others. I just like to be up front with folks and let them know that this is a medicine, basically, but it's a fruit that creates this. It isn't something that we've done anything with. Man, we didn't do anything with it, but God created this. It's not ours. But we're here to serve up the very best noni that you can make. We started doing this in 1994 when very few people were doing anything with noni.
All right.
But the good thing about this is you're going to feel better.
You've got the natural medicine, the island-style noni. There's also one that is included in that. We've got to go to break here, Larry, and I'll just say this before the break. There's one also, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to taste kind of a vinegary taste, which is what the island style is, more therapeutic. You can also take it in a fruit juice style noni combined with blueberry and raspberry. Delicious. We'll talk more about this right after the break. Our special guest, Larry Logsdon, with us, just wrapping it up here. If you want to take advantage of Larry's very generous offer of helping to build your amazing immune system back up in 10 easy steps, a course that you can get online and get started, go to their website, tahititrader.com, or call 800-842-5309. Larry, we've got to let you go because we've got a bunch of things we have to do here, but I want to thank you for coming on the program today, and also this special offer here to help our listeners build their immune systems back up in these troubling times of all things related to immune system problems getting us down. And I know a lot of people are going to take advantage of it by hitting your website at tahititrader.com.
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Bob.
Have a good rest of the weekend, Larry. We'll talk to you soon, sir.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You too.
Bye
All right.
now.
Thanks for listening to Wellness Made Easy. For more wellness tools and natural health support, follow us on social media or visit tahititrader.com. Stay aware, stay proactive, and take care of your body. It's the only one you've got.